Adrien, so this was a very busy week,
It was.
and I've been told there were new collectors.
Yes, I mean, you're spot on, Judith. I think what explains the very successful outcome of our auctions is in large part the new blood. There have been new players entering the market in the last 12 to 18 months, and to a greater level this week. Essentially, essentially American,
Mhm.
um, but from all industries. Um,
But how can we explain that suddenly they are interested by modern and contemporary?
well, I think you've had a significant increase in wealth within this community of high net worth individuals, and there perhaps comes a point where you look into diversifying your assets, and art comes naturally into this equation. The role of advisors is also becoming more and more visible and relatable to these newcomers. And I think that's what's creating a very natural synergy.
And they are looking for valeur sûre, as we say, on this
Yes,
side of the Atlantic.
yeah,
So
it's
what are they looking for? What's your feeling?
well,
What were your surprise?
they're looking for the what we call brand names, which have passed the test of time, such as impressionist painters, um, um, the works of which have been exhibited in museums, or previously achieved world records, but also modern artists like the Miro from the Newhouse collection, which was an extraordinary picture, which, when it sold 20 years ago, had already achieved a world record when it came from the Geffy collection.
But it's not an easy painting, huh?
It's not only what?
It's not an easy painting.
No, it's not. It's not an easy painting, but it's a highly important painting. And you will have seen that it was underbid by a very reputable art advisor. And that's, I think, another proof of the role that these art advisors play with key end buyers.
But it looks like they are really insiders advising because it's really a level of connoisseurship. Like for example, the sculpture of Picasso of the New House collection by Picasso, I mean, it's a difficult sculpture.
Which one, the Tête de Fernande or the Femme
Oui,
enceinte?
Tête de Fernande.
Yes, it's difficult, but it's an iconic subject. It's pretty much the only one of the Cubist period, other models of which are in museums. So it ticks all the right boxes for collectors who may be looking to acquire great sculpture by the greatest name of the 20th century. So
But it's for connoisseur.
it is for connoisseur. Yeah, it is for connoisseur.
And what about foreign countries? Did they, for example, Asia, did they
Asia
participate?
was a little bit more active than it was in the recent past. It has not come back to its level of the 2015 to 20 period, but they have come back still at a higher level. We had our colleagues from Shanghai, Beijing, and Hong Kong active, which is quite revealing of a hopefully a renewed interest from that part of the world.
And what was your biggest surprise?
Well, strangely enough, I think it was this Monet painting of the apple trees in Véteuil, a beautiful painting, um,
But
which
quiet.
but quiet, which had a magic provenance of caillebotte, an estimate which seemed sensible of $6 to $9 million, and sold in excess of $17 million, which was with many phones on it. So it was not only um, the two phones who created it. There was a real effervescence around this picture. I think that was one of the surprises, and of
What
course the Pollock.
was it a surprise, a Pollock?
Well,
Because
yes.
because there was in private sales there were bigger figures, right?
Yes, but they were for different paintings, and it was several years ago, so it was still a good it was still a very significant price.
What about disappointment?
Well, one always wants that the I guess the other um, the Renoir, I think, is maybe a disappointment, even though it was the second highest price ever paid for Renoir, which in itself is an achievement. For me, it was one of the greatest that came up on the market in decades. So you could have expected maybe a greater competition for it.
And now there's at Musée d'Orsay a great Renoir exhibition, which could
Exactly.
give a new sense of how important is Renoir, right?
Yes. So hopefully it will re-engage a larger community who've lost touch with the artist. And that's, Judith, that's one of the reasons when you don't have great masterworks by an artist that come up on the market, that's also what explains a slight um, uh, um, a disengagement from the market because they haven't seen great works by an artist.
True. What about the Modigliani?
What the painting? So
Yes.
it was withdrawn.
Yes. Why you think?
Well, listen, I think it didn't trigger as much interest as we thought it would. So instead of taking the risk of not selling it or underselling it, we thought it was in the client's interest to maybe wait for a better moment.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Judith. À bientôt.